Well, welcome back to the Twilight franchise. The third chapter this time, Eclipse.
Oh god, it's the most boring one.
Okay, look. I know
And
that...
releasing the best time ever for a movie like this, 2010. The year that gave us stuff like Iron Man 2.
I think this came out at the same time. I think this came out around the same time. Airbender.
It did.
The same Eclipse.
Wow, this is a terrible bloody year.
Seriously, you know what's bad? This was not the worst movie to come out that week.
You think that's bad, Shiro. The first half of 2010 was chock full of terrible movies. Don't get me wrong, there were exceptions like the surprisingly good Karate Kid remake and Toy Story 3. But for the most part, the first half of 2010 was really, really crap. It was Inception that really brought about, holy crap, finally an awesome original movie for a change. So it was kind of an interesting year, yeah.
So here we are, 10 years later.
Directed by David Slade, which this was like literally his third directed the movie, and after this, the only major contribution we did was Black Mirror Bandersnatch, because he mostly handles music videos with a screenplay by Melissa Rosenberg. But from what I heard, the story just stay close to the book. Budget of 68 million and revenue of 698.4, almost more than 10 times. So obviously another success. But anyway, let's not be too much around the bush, and let's check the continuation of Bella Swan's incessant career as a sociopath, starting before the Summit logo in 3, 2, 1, click.
The special Summit logo.
You know, again...
It's custom made. What is this, the Matrix?
I would like to say something, because on his vlog review from back in 2010, Spoonie made an excellent point when he discussed Last Airbender versus this, Mr. Shyamalan. When the Twilight movie was not the worst movie released this week, you need to rethink your profession. Yeah. And I mean you need to rethink it hard.
For those who may remember from our 2 commentaries of Last Airbender, I, back then, considered it to be the worst adaptation ever. In fact, a lot of people did. I say I used to, though, because as of this year, there's a new adaptation that has come to challenge Last Airbender. The Artemis Fowl adaptation. What?
You know, it's interesting, Joe, but back in the day, there was a channel on YouTube called Reels Channel about this guy that would go on theaters and ask people what they thought of the movie as they were coming out of the theater, And the reactions to Last Airbender were, one of them said, actually, I've gone to see Twilight.
Oh god, I think I remember that channel.
Honestly, I agree. If I was that person, I'd say that too.
I thought the glass was gonna shatter.
Your ass is glass.
Oh,
wow, the movie's even grayer.
I know, right? What is this, Zack Snyder? Jesus.
And yet, sadly, this is closer to being...
I mean, vampires have superpowers in this universe, so why not?
Okay, I would like to mention something, because I actually do have... this is actually one of those cases where I am familiar with the director of this. Let me just get his...
David Slade? You're familiar with him, Pedro?
Specifically, his 2005
Okay.
Hard Candy.
Okay. That was clearly a rip-off of the bit from
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Basically, Teo... go ahead, Jova.
That was clearly a Batman Begins reference there. The guy yells out, and of course the bat creature gets him.
Okay, he just beat your hand. I know that this is probably the transformation happening, but Jesus. So, kids, are you being sold on the movie yet?
No.
Too bad, it's basically 2 more hours of this.
Okay.
2 hours?
2 hours.
To be fair, this is not the longest of the movies.
Oh, goody. Here comes...
Surprisingly. Hell, even in terms of cut, New Moon actually had an extended cut that we actually didn't look at. This one actually still has 1.
Oh, look, yet another boring narration at the beginning. Nice points for consistency, I guess.
Oh.
Well, I mean, the writer's been consistent for the movie.
Hey, Teo, I have to ask Teo.
Yeah?
I have to ask Teo. Who's a more boring narrator? Bella or Vanille?
Bella.
But Vanille sounds like she actually tries to inject emotion.
Yeah.
Bella, not so much.
Definitely
Okay.
Bella. Like,
But yeah, I'm actually familiar with the director of this movie because this is the guy who directed Hard Candy, which is actually a really good movie. In fact, you know how a lot of people first were introduced to Ellen Page via Juno? Screw that. I was introduced to her via Hard Candy, which is an incredibly basically, Jova, think of it as an edgier, more modern take on the God, what's that Stephen King story?
It,
No, the other one, the one with
the Langoliers.
the one with the woman that traps the
Misery?
rider. That's
Oh,
it,
Misery.
Think Misery, Jova, but more hardcore when it comes to violence. It's like and Ellen Page being absolutely fucking nuts. So
oh, good. Wait, isn't that Beyond Two Souls technically?
well, no, in here she actually is given a good role. So no.
Marriage is just a piece of paper. Never
No,
heard
it's
that
not.
one before.
Okay, for those of you who don't remember, at the end of New Moon, Edward proposed to Bella.
Yeah, that was the big
So you
twist.
might be wondering, after all that crap of Bella obsessing over Edward, what is Bella's answer going to be?
Let me guess, we're not going to find out in this movie.
Actually, no, Dwibs. We will find out.
Right now, actually, in this very scene.
This is
That's
stupid.
reassuring. That's usually like the argument that people would have gone against. People who actually wanted divorce to be passed as a law.
You know, Edward, it's nice to see. It's nice at the very least know that Robert Pattinson managed to get out of the
Twilight Purgatory.
the Twilight Purgatory.
The Twilight
yeah.
Zone.
Now he's set to be Batman. Although, unfortunate news, he's unfortunately tested positive for the
By the time we're recording this, so people from the future, if he's fine, well, good news, hopefully.
Let's hope he's fine and that in the future it's not the opposite.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh,
Washington
boy.
Inquisitor. Is that a newspaper like that, Jova? Washington Inquisitor. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
interesting. Interesting. This is the third film, right? The series.
So, as you recall
guys.
from...
Yes.
So-
This is the third film in the series.
Yes.
Duh, yeah.
Basically, Victoria, when we see her next, she's going to be replaced by a new actress.
Which, I'll admit, was kind of jarring for me when I first saw this movie.
And instead of Raquel Lefevre, it's Bryce Dallas Howard, who, funnily enough, turned down the role in the first movie because they thought the part was too small.
So what convinced her to... Oh, let me guess, because this is the one with the all big out war and everything.
Apparently, the part here was bigger than when she was offered.
Well...
As usual, Bella's father continues to be the best character in this franchise.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I'm with you, buddy. Give me another beer, too.
So, as you recall from the last movie, Bella was pretty much all on board the Mary Edward train. So, what happened here, you may be wondering?
Simple. Stephenie Meyer wants to drag this out for one more book. So, yeah.
Pretty much. It's kind of like what happened with the Inheritance Cycle from Christopher Paolini. It was supposed to be a trilogy, but when he made Brisinger, it was like, no, let's just make a fourth book.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Jacob's going through hard times. Can't imagine why that would be...
For all you fangirls of Jacob out there, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, because this is the start of a franchise where he starts to be unlikable to say the very least, because he becomes very creepy, very obsessive.
It's very simple, Tail. In this movie, he's a creepy rapist. In the next movie, he's a pedophile. So, I'm not kidding, by the way, when I say that.
Stephenie? Why?
Because
I'm
she
not
finds that charming.
Alright, this prompts me to actually check instead what the score is.
Howard Shore, I think.
No,
Howard.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, I'm getting the wrong movie here.
Howard.
Yeah, still Howard Shore.
Howard, you need to get a better agent.
Well, I mean, well, hey, Pedro. In two years' time from this movie, he'd be doing the Hobbit film.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, the year after this, he did Hugo, at least, so there's that.
Well, also in 2010 there was
Hey, Batman.
Edge of Darkness.
How do you manage to teleport here? I'm Batman.
No, I will be Batman. There you go.
Side note, but I actually found on an article related to this franchise just the other day when I was recording. Apparently, actor Peter Facinelli, who is the guy who plays Edward's father, I think, part of the Cullen family, expressed his desire to actually return to the franchise if any movie is made.
Wow.
Like, he actually went out of his way to ask to return.
Is he
I guess
having
he really
like...
enjoys the role.
Which is funny because, okay, so let's look at how the actors are regarding this role. Let's see. Robert Pattinson has gone full on to state that he pretty much hates this franchise. Kristen Stewart blames this franchise for ruining her career later on because not as many people wanted to hire her. And Taylor Lautner... Well, yeah, this career didn't do him any big favors, and let's just say the biggest opportunity he may have is returning as Shark Boy again. You know, quite possibly the worst ever reviewed movie he's been in.
Also, yeah, Bella's schoolmates, remember them? Never do I. They're really important, so don't worry.
Also, I gotta say, you know who I kind of, sort of feel a little bit sorry for?
Who?
What?
Jackson Rathbone.
Oh, Jackson Rathbone. He's better in this movie than he is in Last Airbender. In fact...
And it came out the exact same week.
You know what? Hey, you want to know what's sad? He acts more like Saga in this movie. This movie, which is supposed to be more serious.
You know, it's interesting. After this movie, after the franchise finally fucking ended, Kristen Stewart, much like Robert Pattinson, tried to also make more quote-unquote proper movies and tried to be in various Oscar baity indie type of stuff. It wasn't very good.
Oh.
It didn't go well. Unlike Robert Pattinson, it didn't work out for her, probably because she's a bitch.
Oh, gee. Well, Pedro, what? You're telling me that Charlie's Angels wasn't the most amazing thing, and it...
Well, I've seen Underwater, and she was actually fine in there, but it might be just an exception more than anything.
Okay, Tia. When it comes to stuff like Underwater, it's like her roles in SNL. Of course she's gonna work there because it's pretty much geared properly for her. And even still, did she really have that much impact in Underwater?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Did she really have that much impact in Underwater?
She's the protagonist, bro.
I know, but all the same, did she have that much impact in it? Like, okay, for example, just because someone is supposedly the protagonist of a story or movie doesn't mean they're always going to have good impact, especially if, you know, the role is not written with such in mind. Like, for example, it's like how Lightning's supposedly the protagonist of the first 13 game, but really, if anything, Vanille's more the protagonist than she is.
No, I can tell you she's the protagonist of the movie. The thing is that if you think her performance is already old here in the movie, here in the Twilight movie, it's not going to be too different in Underwater, but I do believe the situation there justifies it a bit more.
Uh-huh.
It will be inevitably show up on Disney Plus, so just give it a look, I guess.
But of course.
Okay.
Yes, that was very generous.
That's exactly what you're gonna do.
Oh, God. I see you're as dislikable as ever, Bella. Seriously, it's like you hate your parents or something. Granted, maybe her mother hastily left her father in a divorce or whatnot, so maybe that's the main reason. That or Bella's just a bitch. And I don't know about you, but the
again, with the father for this one, Jesus Christ.
He looks so amused.
Alright.
My God, the set has to do the acting for her in these movies.
The one thing missing would be the score having to act for her.
What was even the
there's
point?
a lot of films that have to do the acting, where the score has to do the acting for them.
So this is Bella with her mother. So yeah, what will this accomplish for the movie?
Let me check who she's played by.
Okay, so Kristen Stewart is not going to be in. Oh my, no,
What?
please.
Is she gonna?
She's going to be Princess Diana in the movie Spencer, whatever this is. Why? That's the last person that should play Princess Diana.
Wait. What's Spencer?
Well, Pedro, it didn't really. Well, Pedro, it didn't exactly work out when Naomi Watts played her.
Okay.
Well,
Seriously,
Guess what? I didn't like that either.
seriously,
so.
guys, give me context here. What exactly is Spencer?
I don't know, I'm seeing right now. During her Christmas holidays with the royal family at the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, England, Diana decides to leave her marriage to Prince Charles. So apparently it is. It even says here on IMDb, drama history. So it is supposed to be some kind of historical thing.
I guess.
Anyway, Bella's mother is played by Sarah Clarke, who is mostly known for her role as Nina in 24.
How nice. So you went from 24 to Twilight. I mean,
Step up in the career, I guess.
So, she was in the episode of House as well in between, but
She has an extensive resume.
I guess one has to one.
so basically,
You know,
so basically, Tia, what's worse? Her meeting her rather deserved end at the hands of Jack Bauer, or ending up here?
Probably ending up here. Go on, Pedro.
Shiroi, I'm wondering right now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think would have been the Twitter internet reaction if these movies were being released and books were being released today? Because I really have to wonder what would it be. Because
I guess we can pull a stretch here. The 50 Shades series was spawned potentially as fanfic of this, so I guess it's like at least a good indication, like a radar.
Well, I can't speak much for those, but I'm talking specifically about Twilight too, because because one of the big problems of this franchise that a lot of people point out, myself included, of course, is the fact that for some reason Bella's depicted as this woman that cannot live without a man in her life, and trust me, that point of mine will become clear later on in this movie. Trust me.
And we're supposed to actually understand and relate to her.
So wouldn't this be considered a negative portrayal?
It's not even just. It's not since you asked. I mean, it's not even just that aspect. It's the fact that how abusive a lot of these relationships are, talking specifically about the romantic ones, not so much the familial ones. And it's like a lot of this stuff would be found a lot sooner, I think.
You know what I love about these kinds of supposed female empowerment stories that actually in reality make end up making women look worse in the long run of things, is the complete hypocrisy of it. Like, you've got stuff like Twilight, which is supposedly about, Bella rising up to the occasion of being awesome to being this OP vampire, but in reality, she is one of the most worst.
Wild jump of doom.
Also, this filter, Jesus Christ!
Oh, Bryce.
This is clearly a day-to-night shot, and it's masqueraded so poorly.
I know how much you love those, Tia.
Now that I think about it, though, the whole theme of Bella not being able to live without a man is kind of, over to this point when you think about it. Like, let's not forget, the main reason Victoria's doing this is because her man got killed in the first Twilight book. So...
What is this, like a game of keep away?
Supposedly. So...
At least the score's more energetic than, any of the others.
I actually forgot who was the composer of a previous movie.
Carter Burwell in the first and Alexandra Desplat in the second.
Oh, right. The guy that sounds like a
Carter Burwell's
tomato
going to
squash
come back in the next two.
Of course you got away.
And cut! Movie, you might actually should have showed the conclusion of that scene, maybe.
I see they went to the Game of Thrones school of how to deal with plot problems.
CGI is expensive,
No, just to see, Tio. Just like in Season 8 of Game of Thrones, just cut away from it, and the characters will instantly survive.
So what's that? It's like a video game. When they're off screen, you're safe.
Pretty much.
Well, an old school video game, I should say.
But yeah, stuff like Twilight. Again, here's the marvel of supposed female empowerment stories that actually in reality do just the opposite of female empowerment here. It's that they are so far up their own butts that they cannot see so clearly the problem that they themselves are conjuring. There's this movie, there's the flipping Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot, oh hi Jacob, and then, most recently, there's the Mulan
Jacob
remake.
has entered the server.
You know what's interesting, Jova?
What?
Because a lot of the teenage girls that were eating this shit up back in back in the late 2000s and early 2010s, when this was actually going on, are now in their early 20s, so you know what would be interesting?
What?
Like if someone tries to accuse okay, I hate when women are portrayed negative portrayal of women in media, and I was yeah, but you like Twilight, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't take pleasure in that. Well,
actually, that's a good.
Sometimes we like things that are bad, even if we don't realize it. That's the
people grow and change. It's like people.
Of course, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's just that when we told them and tried to explain them what was the problem, they would just push it off or deny it. That's the problem.
Oh, so
that's like with Harry Potter. People didn't realize till a lot later how bad a lot of it was.
Okay. What is
outside of the sixth book? I would still argue the movies, at least. I mean, outside from the sixth movie, I would argue the movies are fine.
What are you talking?
Oh, I'm talking about the book specifically, like the casual brushing over of slavery in the fifth book.
Was that removed from the movie?
They never talked about that because, not because of the controversy. I think it was probably because, to be honest, in the grand scheme of the story, it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not aware of it. Then.
Actually, let me ask a question, because I think you mentioned already in the previous two movies, so I might as well make it a recurring theme. So, I think you've seen this in the theater as well, correct?
No.
Oh, I asked Pedro.
I only saw the first movie.
I only asked Pedro because he mentioned for the previous one.
I didn't realize you were talking to me. Could you repeat that, please?
Have you seen this in theater as well, like the other movies?
Yes.
So, how was the crowd?
I was great. I was great too. No,
hey, grab ass!
Trust me.
It's like going to the circus.
It's the grab ass gang.
It's okay.
Hey, he made the pack.
It's okay. I can spoil it anyway. Later on, Teo, finally, there's gonna be the one and only kiss that Bella and Jacob have, and I swear to you, Teo, like you could hear a collective like in the crowd, because it was full of teenage girls, it was just something like, this is basically teenage girl porn, like it's just, and not even good porn, it's kiss porn, like it's just like.
Pedro, have you met a shipper?
Shirai, that's the problem. Shirai, this was 2010. These shippers could perfectly get their jollies on the internet. They didn't need these movies for that.
Yay, we're grabbing us in the woods.
Okay,
oh my god, the transformation was awful.
Seriously, guys. Why do you even bother to wear clothes when you know you're just gonna rip them when you transform?
Pedro, for some reason, the audience really enjoyed watching a teenage girl, choose between bestiality and necrophilia. I don't know why. I don't understand the appeal of this, but it's there.
I can actually explain that, Shirai. See, there's actually a lot of people, for those of you who might not be familiar with this, what these movies and books are doing, it's been done for decades. It's called the Harlequin romance genre. What is that? Basically, the whole thing about a woman, having these burly dudes fighting over her and stuff like that, which is basically what this entire franchise is. That's been done for decades in Harlequin romance novels. So it's not and even as Harlequin romance novels go, Twilight is incredibly lame. So seriously, even
the competition. Sorry, go on.
If all of you shippers out there, if you really love this shit, trust me, look up Harlequin romance novels best of or something like that. Trust me, you'll find a lot better shit than this.
The conflict in itself over the love for a woman, it's something that TV tropes, I think, called the Dulcinea effect, which is tied to an epic poem where this kind of shit happens.
I will say this, though. When it came to the whole Team Edward versus Team Jacob thing, I was pretty much like, guys, the game is rigged from the start. It's obviously going to be Team Edward because you know what hack writers do? They always default towards the first male protagonist and the first female protagonist will hook up thing. And gee, what a shock! That's how it ended up.
Foreshadowing. Jacob has never imprinted on someone. For those who don't know what, for those who don't know what werewolf imprinting is, it's this thing about werewolves where, when they meet that one female werewolf or female human or whatever female that they're meant to be with, they'll imprint on that female. What does that mean exactly? That means that from that point on, that werewolf will be entirely devoted to that person forever and ever.
It's sort of like when an animal imprints on a human, you know. The idea is to get that animal's devotion.
It's supposed to...
Except like with animals that come out of eggs, where that concept actually makes sense. This doesn't make any sense, really.
It's supposed to represent the instinctual part of a werewolf, but instead it comes up as very creepy.
It's remind me, Terry, is this actually a common aspect of werewolf lore?
No.
Not that I'm aware of. Mostly because werewolf lore doesn't focus on stupid romance.
Okay, then.
If it was like a vampire thing, maybe because a lot of vampire stories, it does involve them seducing someone.
Oh, look at that. See? Better you really be dead than with one of them. So basically, Jacob is angry that Bella is marrying Edward. And he literally just said, better you be dead than to be with one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that feels like exactly what a rapist would say.
What a nice
like, seriously.
Even on the lightest level, it's a threat, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's what a rapist would say, but Jesus, dude, not cool. I mean, granted...
It's still gross.
Okay.
Rolling for those diplomacy checks.
Yeah, like, here's the problem here. We as the audience don't really care about this whole conflict between the vampires and werewolves because the story itself doesn't really focus on them as much.
I actually would be more interested because, again, much like in a lot of other products, instead of actually the main course, I'm more interested about the world building for this universe, and they, of course, only scratch upon it.
That is definitely one of the biggest problems of Twilight thing. For something that was, you know, going to pretty much knock the socks off of vampire lore as far as we knew, they really did a poor job of it. I mean, sure, yeah, vampires sparkle. Vampires can walk around in the daylight.
If they have a branch of Illuminati living in my country for some reason.
Also, to add to that point about Jacob arguing with Bella, again, just as a reference, don't you see, Bella? I wasn't born. I didn't choose to be this way. I was born like this.
Personal space.
You better not kill the best character.
No, I was talking about what the scene was that was happening.
Oh my! You know, you gotta love how the movie literally teases us with the prospect of them possibly. Not only that, but potentially killing Charlie, the best character in this godforsaken franchise.
You know, I just realized Charlie in these movies looks like a drunk Tony Stark.
You know, okay. All things considered, though, why didn't Victoria just have one of her vampires literally attack Bella's father? I mean, she's trying to get back at Bella in any way.
That's complicated pointlessly our lives.
Is that?
Yeah, that's the thing of these movies. You always make simple stuff extremely complicated.
Like what? Is Victoria's stance?
If we didn't overcomplicate everything in this series, each movie would be like 5 minutes long.
So what is Victoria's?
So make a better story then.
Yeah. So what is Victoria's stance like? Oh no, she must know the ultimate suffering. But killing her father would not cause her to suffer at all. Well, I guess to be fair...
how about injure him, maybe?
Alright, now let me try to address something that's kind of a double-edged sword when it comes to this movie.
What isn't in this movie? But go on.
Go on.
Believe it or not, this is the first time we're actually going to get some more backstory on some of the rest of the Cullen family. and which brings up one of the primary issues of this movie, and I'm assuming book. The side characters are more interesting than our two leads. That's a problem.
Has anyone here actually looked at any of the books at all, like online or anything?
I actually was tempted, but I never ended up doing it.
The only thing I was familiar with, Shiroi, was when Breaking Dawn Part 1 was coming up, and people were talking about it, so I was like, okay, spoil it to me. What happens in Breaking Dawn? And they mentioned the whole, vampire cesarean thing. And it made me super hyped to watch Breaking Dawn Part 1, because how the hell do you even film a scene like that?
Pretty sure a microphone.
Get it? Because Switzerland.
Oh, okay. Remember that line from Bella, because she.
What was the line? I didn't hear it.
I'm Switzerland.
Okay. Oh. Basically,
he says, I'm trying to stay neutral.
Basically, Bella's telling them not to fight over her, essentially. The whole no longer fighting around me because she's Switzerland.
To quote a better movie, Switzerland have 500 years of democracy and peace, and what they did? Chocolate and cuckoo clocks.
I mean I like one of those things.
It's not as good as chocolate from Belgium, but still.
So basically, folks, get this.
He didn't even have his shirt on. He just
arrived here.
Well, to be fair, even Edward just took a jab at that right now. From what I've heard, okay, I can actually answer you too. From what I've heard, apparently that line wasn't in the book. Apparently that was the screenwriter. Apparently the screenwriter was trying to make this a bit.
Very smooth, yes. Okay, Bella, you know that Jacob has feelings for you, yet you snogged up with Edward right in front of him.
This is like core now.
I'm sorry. What was that about being Switzerland and no stoking the fires around?
It wasn't even 2 minutes beforehand. It's literally the next scene.
Yeah, look, this is democracy, guys. It's democracy.
It's clear that democracy has failed us. Let's turn to communism.
Guys, I got a question.
What?
In whatever movies there are left, does Bella have to take charge of anything?
Yes.
Well, I can tell you this, Weaves, she actually gets pregnant as to birth. Hopefully she takes charge of that.
Hopefully. She does too. It's just that it's a problem.
I know.
Anyway, I'm actually wondering right now, Jova.
What?
Which of the two analogies is the least subtle? Mulan 2020's Phoenix analogy? or the werewolf being an analogy for gay people analogy that they do in this franchise.
I'm gonna say
excuse.
Well, remember, Shiroi, they did that in the previous movie.
I don't remember.
Remember when Edward, Perry even quoted before when Jacob mentioned about, I was born this way, I didn't choose to be.
This isn't a lifestyle choice, Bella.
Okay.
I was born this way.
I think I chucked that out of my brain.
Okay. I'm gonna say the Mulan one was worse. God, I can't believe I'm comparing Twilight positively to something, but yes, the Mulan one was worse. Okay, at least with the whole gay analogy thing, it wasn't per se hurting the gays, whereas with Mulan Sing, as plenty of female viewers have pointed out, that one actively hurts female empowerment, while trying to supposedly be all about female empowerment.
Disney tried so hard to make this movie appeal to various people, and everyone hated it.
I think when
you try to please everybody, you'll please no one.
I think an interpretation of what you just said, Jova, might be when New Moon came out and that phrase happened. Oh, hold on. This is actually important.
Is important backstory.
Okay.
A vampire from the east, yes.
So we're finally getting backstories to why the werewolves hate the vampires.
And why we're more tied to Native Americans.
Oh my god, the CG.
So Native Americans tied to werewolves. Huh.
I wonder they're barely showing the wolves.
Can we get a movie based on that, please?
I
Some
know,
more
right?
Okay,
Yeah,
to be fair,
to be fair,
it's a monkey's paw because they wanted kind of the same thing for the backstory of Underworld, and when we got to that movie, it was still bad.
Yeah, that's the primary issue with this franchise, and this is the movie where it's most prevalent. The side characters and their backstories are far more interesting than the romance. So,
Oh, but guys,
They had to migrate.
oh guys, look at this. Just like in present day, a female vampire wanted vengeance after her mate had been killed.
Okay, that was a big army. So? Sacrificing herself?
That's not a power.
Is that an instrument?
She did not have...
No,
Yeah,
it is
a
not
knife
an
is not an
instrument.
instrument.
Damn it.
A fork is not an instrument either.
Wait. So the Pharaoh Courage was there to distract for a second the villain so she could be taken behind.
Yeah. That's the thing.
You do know that you get
Fucking
So I'm
brilliant.
sorry, movie. You do know you get the same result by yelling and gesticulating your arms out left and right.
Or hell,
Just louder
there you go.
about it.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The next, if you're ever on the street and someone's trying to mug you, simple.
Stab yourself.
no.
yourself.
But they
I'm
would
pretty-
get- they
I'm
would
pretty- I'm
read
pretty
the
Well,
sure
yes,
this
it
is
would confuse the mugger.
I'm pretty sure
greatly.
this is offensive to some degree to Native Americans, but
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
leave the judgment for them. But to say what I was saying before, to interpretation to what Jova said, is that when New Moon came out and had that phrase in it, probably was like a misspelling and unintentional, especially considering Stephenie Meyer had a lot of other things in mind when writing that. Instead, in more recent years, as it's custom for more traditional media, any kind of message like the one that Mulan said is intentional with people behind who actually believe in that kind of thing.
like,
So,
yeah, that's the thing about Mulan. They tried to appeal to women hated it. They tried to appeal to the Chinese hated it. And you know what's a thing? The Chinese actually...
shit.
Okay, apparently if you karate chop someone's head like that,
It becomes
shadow
porcelain.
that was stupid. You know what's sad? You know what's sad?
This is making the youth of vampires in the Blade Trinity look competent.
Oh god.
Yeah, and they're
Don't you see, Joe?
and half of what they did half the time was yell and rant about stuff.
Don't you see, Jova? It stereotypes men and stereotypes women, and therefore it stereotypes people.
You know,
Yeah.
Joe, I just also realized that Peter Facinelli as Edward's father kind of looks like Wesker.
I know,
with the
right?
haircut and the eyes that can turn red. It's just missing the sunglasses.
Yeah, pretty much. He would have been a better Wesker than the actual live-action Wesker we got.
I actually forgot who the actor who played him is.
Well, okay. The actor who plays him is Rogue's boyfriend from the X-Men movie.
Huh.
Yeah. So I guess you could say that her cursed touch turned him into a superhuman being. Actually, yeah, why not just leave this up to the Volturi to fix?
That's the thing, Jova. The Volturi never do anything until the final movie. That's the thing. I mean, they're supposed to be the vampire police, but they never. But they do jack shit.
Yeah, they're not very good at being the police.
Anyway,
Fantastic.
so back to the thing about Mulan. That's the thing. The Chinese actually did like the original animated Mulan movie back in the day. And that was not trying to cater to them necessarily. No, but the movie that is actually trying to cater to them ends up being guilty of cultural appropriation.
How much do you know about the Mulan movie, Tio?
I have yet to see it myself, but I know major spoilers.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna pay $20 for it, but I'm sure.
Well,
they'll
I didn't
still,
either. I moved
still
on
fun.
someone else. So.
It's not like you need to, as you know.
Yeah. But whatever. Also, side note, it's also nice to see Charlie actually doing some police work. I come to think of it,
We did police work a bit earlier.
Did we actually ever seen Charlie in a police station?
We're actually going to see him do more in this movie.
Yeah, we saw it a bit ago, Tia.
No,
Okay, then.
I think
Sorry.
he means in a previous movie.
In general, in this franchise.
Oh, in this movie. In previous movies, I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
Like, does he have, co-worker cops? Like, friends in the force?
I think
I actually want to talk about this. Yeah, I told you.
Fox boy.
Oh my god.
Okay, and what are the consequences? Explain.
I'm sorry, Edward.
Hold on, I want to hear this. What are the consequences, Edward? Tell us. Okay, go on. Okay.
Oh, come on!
Okay. Edward, we've been through this. You're being already intentionally vague again. Can you please just, be specific?
I'll be more specific when you end your pretentious narratives. Seriously, both of these two have different forms of hokey dialect and dialogue.
And for the record, everybody, what Edward is saying right now is complete bullshit. Because the only suffering that Bella goes when she turns eventually is because of the pregnancy itself, not because of the actual vampire turning.
Yeah, they keep telling about how turning a human into a vampire is the worst thing ever, And the only excuse they could get, at least at this point in the franchise, was that Edward's family was, trying to be vegetarian vampires, so they didn't want it to actually, harm our human beings. But again, as we will see in Munduology, that's completely bullshit.
It's not entirely vegetarian as well, to be fair to you. They also do have blood reserves from people who donate and shit like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do they just go to a blood donation or something?
Yes, they do.
It was a reflection for a second there.
Yeah.
I also want to smudge the camera.
Remember, Shiroy, Carlisle is a doctor.
And that's why they managed to do that.
Speaking of...
None of these two look very happy with their dialogue at all. Like,
Shiroy, most of the cast of this movie didn't even like being in this.
In general,
no wonder they all look so miserable.
This is lifeless.
Okay.
We're 40 minutes in, and I'm sorry, what happened? What has happened so far?
Somebody died, we had a campfire story, and Bella refuses to marry
the backstory,
Edward.
which could have been condensed in 5 minutes at the beginning as a narration.
I wouldn't have willingly watched this if it went for a group like this.
Tell me about it, seriously.
This time I deliberately kept the alcohol away because I just know that I were attached to the bottle.
Is David Slade against fun in this movie?
Anyway, the only reason you say that is because you weren't there, man. Because back when this shit was coming out in theaters, it was always the case where when I went to watch a Twilight movie, I would make sure and look at the theater room and say, okay, how many teenager girls?
Jacob, that is a bad idea.
I would not even go.
Jacob, that is a terrible idea.
No.
Also, Bella, stop it. Just stop toying with him.
Yeah, trust me, Shiroy. Watch.
Just as manipulative, though. They're both terrible.
That said, Jacob does raise a good point, though.
Creepy.
Okay.
Interesting box office fact about this movie. Other than outside of North America, the biggest territories that, in terms of box office gross, were our country, Ireland, and Malta of all places.
That's nice, Jacob. But relationships.
And now sexual assault.
Yeah, there you go. See, I told you.
Okay. As much as this scene is creepy in itself, that bit of comedy is actually funny.
Yeah, it is funny, but at the same time, not inappropriate considering what just happened. Don't speak for her, asshole.
Oh man.
This is so creepy.
Yeah. Charlie, this is the time where you flash the pistol and says, "Everyone, get the fuck out."
This is why I made that question before. What would be the overall internet reaction if this came out today in theaters? Because holy crap!
I guess timing was generous with these stories.
It would get the backlash it deserved, I guess.
And it's not... Well, I mean, considering how Stephenie Meyer apparently wants to redo this series, but from, Edward's perspective, I guess...
Maybe she's hoping to redeem it. I mean, it's been a long time since she's finished the series.
I can tell you this...
The blonde vampire, he's Carlisle, he's the head of the family, and he's a doctor. Okay. So I'm guessing he's the one who's getting all the blood reserves.
The one played by Peter Facinelli, the guy who wants to come back. But
I think now we're gonna get Alice.
I'll mention later.
Not Alice. What's her name? I forgot the name of the blonde vampire.
Rosalie.
It's Rosalie. Okay, now we're gonna get Rosalie's backstory, which is actually, again, much like the previous one, it's yet another flashback of a side character's backstory that could make for a much more interesting story rather than the stupid romance that goes nowhere.
It feels like this movie is trying to be the glorified encyclopedia guide to the Twilight series. Like, finally, we're getting more stuff about the lore here and there. It's like Meyer remembered, oh yeah, I should actually be describing everything surrounding the characters in this godforsaken romance story.
This is what the E should have stood for, not Eclipse, Encyclopedia.
Oh, it's okay. I don't hate you. I mean...
If I could adjust the thumbnail, the logo to say that, I would, but I can't.
Of course you envy her, because everyone either loves, is obsessed with, or envies Bella in this series.
I don't understand the appeal.
Okay, in this case, it's...
Shirai, that's because you're not a...
The target demographic.
Pardon me the expression, a horny teenage girl.
Wait. I'm sorry. Did Bella just admit that her life is not miserable here? But I'm sorry, wasn't that pretty much the point, starting from the series, that life is pain, or I'm suffering even though I'm not really? No!
That's because she was a moody teenager.
So Bella admits that...
You have to understand... Sorry, go ahead and finish, Jova. Go ahead, sorry.
Bella's literally admitted that, her life isn't that bad, so... why is she all of a sudden so eager?
My life is not so bad, but my life is only bad when I want to complain, Jova.
Pretty much. Now, this seems like an interesting idea. Vampires for all these different time dates and whatnot.
You're probably wondering, Shira, how did Rosalie become a vampire in the first place?
Apparently she found Discount Johnny Depp.
Oh boy.
Ben Affleck?
Discount Ben Affleck as well?
Ayla! Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Wow.
Yes, that was what people did in the 1920s. They were assaulting women on the street openly.
Like, this is... I'm sorry, we're not in the, we are not in the Jack the Ripper era.
We're evil because we drink bourbon.
I don't think Stephenie Meyer lives in the same reality that other people do.
Yeah, that's kind of tied to what it was answering to Shira regarding potential redeeming factor. Get this, Shira, she actually did bro something else other than Twilight after it the host, and it's just as bad.
The what now?
Oh dear.
They even made a movie with the director from Gattaca for some reason.
Oh,
I mean, assault was more common in the day. I mean, it's common now, but people were more blatant about it.
Yeah, ideally it would have been grabbed there into an alley or something instead of just in the street like that.
Oh yeah,
Oh, isn't that cute? She came in a wedding gown for theatrics.
I mean, she has finesse.
I love our face ranged by reliving that memory was like, yeah, it was awesome to cringe.
Okay. Question though. So, wait, her eyes were red back then. I forgot. How long
Remember, Jova, that's the rule. Vampires who do not do the lives that the Cullen family, for example, does, have red eyes, they instead have yellows.
I know, gold. But, like, well, how long do they have to wean off of human blood for their eyes to become gold?
Well, Jova, it would be a neat, interesting piece of lore to add, if only Stephenie actually remembered to do that. If she did, I don't think it's explained in the movies.
Because I'm trying to remember, but I thought at some point it was like, once you bite a vampire, your eyes are once you...
Turn red.
Yeah, I mean, once you bite a human, your eyes are red forever or whatnot, but
You know what, TV Tropes probably say something about that, let me get there.
That said, though, if that is the case, then that raises a plot hole as to why her eyes are golden now, considering as how they're blood red, and it's kind of implied that she devoured her old lover back then.
Well, doesn't that apply to you as well? You managed to, make that go fine. So
But
I
don't
see
you
how
see?
that's an argument, Rosalie.
But don't you see, Bella had a choice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Her choice is to become a vampire. So why don't you respect her choice? But yeah, okay. But see, you have to understand, Shira. See, thanks to watching these movies in theaters, it was a fantastic study case of how the teenage girl mind works.
Even in Portugal?
Yes, even in... Well, no, this thing was popular in Portugal as well, Joe. This movie was popular everywhere. Because watching
this was like a global phenomenon. Like, not as big as Harry Potter, but
my country was no exception of that either, Jova.
This was a global thing, Jova. Well, anyway, because Shiroi...
Oh, hey, the Volturi.
Trust me,
or at least part of them.
Trust me, Shiroi. Watching both this and New Moon with teenage girl fans, it gives a lot of insight and is quite interesting and hilarious.
Hey, Tio!
I'd rather spend my money on better things.
Yes.
We should do something.
Should we do something?
Yeah, we totally should do something.
But happening and no one's stepping in to help.
That's the thing, dudes. The Volturi in this movie are pretty much just, oh, people may question us for our inactivity, and then little Coraline over there is like, go ahead and let them. It's like, idiots. You morons.
You're all idiots.
Everyone in this movie is an idiot except Charlie.
Pretty much. Like how Victoria's an idiot. She literally had Charlie in the palm of her hands to have her lackey at the very least injure or kill him, but no. She leaves...
By the way, Dakota Fanning and Anna Kendrick, I ask you to again, what the hell are you doing in this?
I think it's you as well.
Beats the shit out of me, but no. TV Tropes only says that like what we mentioned, red eyes are only exclusive to vampires that drink proper human blood and of newborns, but that's it. It doesn't say how much time should pass or something.
I never understood why graduates in America have these hats with the square thing in there. Like, that looks so impractical to wear.
Oh, we do those here also.
It's a tradition all this time. I forgot where it originates.
It's something about it symbolizing for a bout of education. I don't really have the time to go into it all.
I never wore one of these, but it just looks like it would be awkward to wear.
It's not obligatory in my country, but there may be cases where it happens. Again, just tradition for the sake of it.
Oh.
You don't have to wear them for long, I believe. I think you only have to wear them for this part, because, yeah.
Oh boy,
there we go. The most prevalent style is a mortarboard cap, which pairs with standard graduation gowns. These caps are believed to have developed in the 15th century, evolving from hats known as birrettas, used by Catholic clerics, scholars, and professors. The origin of a birretta dates back as 1311 in churches.
And by the way, speaking of the whole, thing. Okay, so Bella is officially graduated from high school. So, what are her plans for the future, you may ask? No, none. Her plan is to become a vampire and fuck Edward for the rest of eternity.
Well, what about her dad?
Yeah.
It's my choice, Dad.
Yo, I don't think your dad will appreciate you basically dying.
Yeah, but it's my choice. I'm now legal age 18 and I'm allowed to make my choices. No matter how terrible and stupid they are.
You know,
Also, I just checked, and yeah, we do have these hats also.
you know, the problem is that she still is going to lead Jacob on with this whole, maybe I may go for Jacob.
Also,
worry,
what the
Joe,
hell are you listening?
Don't worry, Joe. I already have my pre-made rant from when that particular aspect reaches its apex later in this movie.
I will say this, though. For as creepy as Jacob has come up, he does raise a good point. If she were to pick him, 1, she wouldn't have to change. 2, she wouldn't have to leave her family, practically. And 3, yeah, at least he has a pulse.
Honestly, but considering how creepy both of them are towards her, at this point, it's like one of those. I'll just let she might as well just let the devil come and choose for her.
Am I the only one who gets
Get it? It's a wolf keychain because he's a werewolf.
And,
That's so tacky. I'm sorry.
You know what's sad? You know what I think? I think the main reason that he
A werewolf.
A vision.
Vision.
Yeah, basically, vampires hate the smell of werewolves. That's the basic gist of it.
Again, we never really get a good explanation as to where this deep-seated hate between vampires and werewolves are for this universe.
Don't worry, Jova. Starting next movie, they'll make a truce.
Dun dun
Well,
dun.
okay, technically the truce is in this movie as well.
I can see why Pedro, though, considers this the dullest movie of the bunch.
Nothing really happens.
It's because Whips. See, in the previous movie, for example, we were watching Jacob with his friends playing grab ass in the
in the woods.
In the woods. We were also watching Bella try to kill herself so she could cause hallucinations of Edward, and it was like, oh, stop it! This is really messing up your hair. Please stop it. No, I'm gonna do it. I miss you. It was so stupid, and hilarious. This is just boring.
Okay. Let me put up for this fight. This movie. What mainly happens in this movie? Essentially, this movie, for the long run, is just an extension of the will they or won't they between Bella, Jacob, and Edward, even though it was pretty clear that she had picked Edward by the end of the second book. Okay, now I know what some of you may say. Oh, but technically we finally deal with Victoria in this. Well, yeah. Problem is, that feels just as much an afterthought as the story pretty much treats it as such. Put this into perspective. This is something that's been built up to for 2 stories since the first one, and it feels like a whimper in the grand scheme of the whole, will Bella choose Jacob or will she choose Edward thing, which has no business continuing after the second story. So even though this is technically contributing and stuff, it feels minuscule and lame.
It's because it's drawn out like all of the shit in this movie is.
Honestly, I'm honestly just thinking of how the hell Taylor at this point in his life is gonna play sharks.
Oh my god, Jacob just pointed out to the fact that Bella is the worst of the bunch.
Yes.
Bella.
While also being very toxic at the same time.
Hey, Bella, you do realize that none of them is an option, right?
Yeah, there's always a better third option,
Pedro, were you gonna say something to me?
Yeah, I was gonna. That's the thing, Dwebs. Don't worry. Starting with the next movie, things will get more ridiculous. We're gonna have bad destroying vampire sex.
Yes.
And we're gonna literally have a cesarean job where Edward, I'm not kidding, literally bites the baby out of Bella's womb. So no, sure. I would rather have that than this, because this is just dull. Seriously.
The CGI werewolves look terrible even when they're standing still.
Convenient.
I would argue that this franchise is at its best, quote unquote, when it's just being incredibly insane and fucked up. Because at the very least, then it's just bewildering to watch.
So Jasper here has experience with newborns. Yes, Jasper is Saga, or Soka, as you may have heard him as.
That sounds very counterproductive. A vampire is only powerful in its first couple of months when it becomes weaker.
So supposedly...
So what's the vampire gonna do for the rest of his life? Just sit around in a hammock?
Well, actually, okay, we actually haven't addressed it in the commentary, so allow me. The basic idea is that, remember that female vampire that wants revenge on Bella?
Yes, Victoria, like I mentioned.
The one she has been replaced in terms of actress.
So basically, they're like Jova said, they're gonna get together, both the vampires and the werewolves, to take care of
eradicate them. Yeah.
This means that we need to, I guess, train the werewolves. I mean, I thought the werewolves already knew how to hunt down vampires.
No, Pedro. The important thing is that we're dealing with newborn vampires, and newborn vampires are apparently more dangerous than vampires who have had years to adapt to their powers.
But that
also,
doesn't make any sense.
Also, Jova, damn, you're right. Jackson Rathbone is, okay, I wouldn't say he's more like soccer, but he's a lot more livelier here.
Also,
exactly.
I love it. Just like with the previous movie, our copies actually have the subtitles for the song we're using in the background for some reason.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
But yeah,
it's nothing too special with it.
But yeah, Dribs, it's like I said, Jackson Rathbone acts more closer to Saga in this movie than he did in the last Airbender movie.
Mr. Jova, I have a question.
Yes, little Duarte?
Like, wouldn't it make a lot more sense for a vampire to grow stronger with age because he will get more used to his body and he will own his gifts better?
Yes, it would, little Duarte. But you see here, we're going for something more bold here. More daring, adventurous. Now, where's my pipe? I need to smoke it so I can look smart.
What's in your pipe?
It is, ideas and wonderment.
Lovely.
It just looks like a drug that gets you
That's
high.
Jacob. That's Jacob, by the way.
Yeah. He wants
to be petted.
Yes.
Okay,
Poop the snoot, Bella.
Okay, so...
No, don't poop the snoot.
So, Tio, let's try and pick this apart and figure out, in what sense would it be to have the newborns be more powerful than the vampires who are better?
The closest I could do to fix that would be, yes, having a burst of power for the initial release, then like a middle period where they actually had to get used to it, and then becoming once again more powerful way later on, like a wave current, just like this feels odd for some reason. But instead, I want to say, for as short and very simplified that it is, this training sequence has probably been the highlight of the movie for me so far, because at least something happened, that wasn't completely about how Bella feels about her love interests.
Everything that isn't focused on the main romances here is just a lot better, but who cares? Apparently.
Am I right?
The problem is that because it's side stuff, they never flesh it out as much as they could, and as a result, it never really takes off. That's the problem. There's a potential in these side characters. The problem is, Stephenie is a lot more interested in developing, quote unquote, developing the romance.
Well, speaking of developing stuff, I believe it's about time to get someone else's backstory.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jasper was alive during the Civil
and he was
War.
a Confederate! Yay! Can this thing get any worse?
It can.
Well, Wait. You never saw any real battle. How did you become an officer?
I'm not gonna lie, I would so dig a Western movie involving vampires. I mean,
yes.
Look, hey, you know what's funny? One of my favorite book series is literally vampires.
There's another day to my shot.
What were you saying, Jova?
One of my favorite book series is literally Vampirates, which is pirates mixed with vampires, and it's as awesome as you can imagine.
That sounds cool.
If you're PC powerful enough, Job, I recommend you Total War Warhammer 2 because it has a faction of undead pirates.
So I can, Oh, yes.
You know, this is the point where you should take your horse and go back, but nope. This is so stupid.
Oh, get it? Of course they were common in the South. Well, then again...
Wait. So vampires were... You're basically saying, implying that vampires were very common as slave owners?
Wait. Oh my god, Chio, it's funny you mentioned that because that was pretty much the case.
Fresh supply of blood, I should have thought of that. That's
does that mean that in this particular alternate version of history, the South won because of the help of having vampires?
No. The South still lost. Actually, Pedro, it's funny you mentioned that because Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter establishes that a lot of slave owners were vampires, so maybe this is in the same continuity as that.
Everything is connected, yay!
And yes, folks, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is a much better story than Twilight. Seriously, check it out. It's flipping off. Well, okay, it's Abraham Lincoln as a vampire hunter. That pretty much describes all you need to know. I'm gonna put you out of your misery.
Jesus!
Ooh. Well, this is awkward.
You know, this is actually one backstory I think even Bella should have been spared of. Don't worry about her reaction, is the usual monotone, what the fuck am I smoking?
Well, honestly, his backstory...
Where are you coming from?
Like, how long were you standing there?
She literally teleported stage left.
You know, that's the thing, though. You know, his backstory does bring up a potential moral, though, about how what you think is love is really just someone puppeting you around.
You know, Taylor, maybe this movie is running on the Crystal Tools engine, and therefore characters pop in out of nowhere.
So the vampires are tapping into the crystals.
Yes.
I'm just saying, though.
I mean, it would kind of fit with the original concept versus 13 was supposed the
okay,
was supposed to be like vampire yakuzas.
Okay, well, halfway through the movie, and so far all we've established is that Jackson Rathbone was once manipulated and killing his own kind.
And Rosalie also.
Okay, can you stop shaking the camera?
David, is the camera broken?
I'm sorry, I have to simulate a seizure.
You were having...
What was that?
Bella, you were having a dream about Jackson...
killing someone.
Oh! Are you putting two and two together? Duh! Again. You gotta love how all these stories that she's being told conveniently align with what's going on right now.
And that's also the sad part. It's Bella who figured this shit out, not the actual experienced vampires, because Bella is just so perfect.
You know, I wish I could say that female empowerment stories, for the most part, got better. I mean, yeah, we do have better ones nowadays. But we still have pretty terrible ones. Again, the fact that I compare this to Mulan 2020 shows how there still is a lot of work to be done in improving them. That and Captain Marvel.
Also, dude, you literally took this guy up. Oh. This guy literally took the guy up, then dropped it like 2 feet afterward. Just so she could turn him.
No, Bella, you should hide. This whole thing is happening because of you.
So, like, is it all really worth it for this one girl? I mean, doesn't even matter if it's this one. Is it just worth it in general?
I think at this point it simply just has escalated. Like before it was just about her, but now it's like a matter of principle.
It boils down to this, Shiroi.
There's a whole newborn army which needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, that too. It boils down to this, Shiroi. she's about as interesting as a table, so it can't be for her as an individual. You can I can't even throw it to hotness because, like I said before, she's your average chick you see at the mall.
Wait,
so...
but Pedro, I thought Snow White told me that she was even hotter than Charlize Theron.
I'm not gonna touch that again because that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
All we need now is a box of birdseed to lure them in. Love you too, Edward.
You all stink. How about that? You know, is that better?
So basically, the power of stink is going to save Bella.
Yes.
Conveniently, that requires him...
people, the most exciting thing in this movie so far has been bloody odor.
Conveniently, that requires him to carry her.
Joyful.
Of course it does.
She doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee. Why?
You're just a rebel spirit, Jacob.
Again, I'm just imagining Taylor Lautner as an adult in that Shark Boy costume, and the thought is hilarious.
It just reminded me of the final joke in Ted.
What?
Where have you ever seen Seth MacFarlane's Ted, the first one?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah, like the final joke where the kid the kid that was the son of the villain, like, and they ended by, okay, Robert got a trainer, went on to become Taylor Lautner. So your joke is kind of the reverse of that.
Again. I was just shocked. Okay, you know what? I gotta give props to Robert Rodriguez. Even when his films are bad, he seems to have loads of fun with him. But it takes some stones, some serious balls to make a sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. But hey, buddy, by all means, go ahead. Even though the fact that they reproduced does not make a lick of sense considering how Lava Girl is literally living lava, but I digress.
You know what?
I like to imagine that was Robert Pattinson just being fed up
about
with,
the movies.
The movie.
Don't worry, Robert. This will work.
It's at this point where I have to ask a big question, though. Imagine, per se, you're an actor in Hollywood. Hollywood can be hard to make it in. So you finally get a film series that is very successful, and one that will help pay your bills from end on end. The problem is, that film series is Twilight, and while for the time the movies will be a guaranteed paycheck for you, what happens after? Does your reputation stay afloat? Especially considering how this was kind of the only thing Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson were doing of note. I mean, maybe they did some other side movies here and there, but this is really the only thing that they were remembered for until they finally escaped it.
Well, Joe, over the same year, Breaking Dawn Part 2 came out, Snow White and the Huntsman came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here's where I have to ask the question. Was being in this franchise a blessing or a curse?
A necessary evil, potentially.
A necessary evil. In Robert's case, a necessary evil.
Also, gotta love the setup. Oops, guys, looks like through a series of fortunate coincidences, Bella and Edward will have their house all for themselves for the night. I wonder what could happen.
You know what?
Not what everyone wants them to just get ahead in doing, because we gotta save themselves for the marriage.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go even one further. And keep in mind, I'm saying this as an heterosexual dude. You know what? For as much as she goes on and on about Edward, Jackson Rathbone's character is a much better catch than Edward.
He is.
Like, seriously. He's already a more interesting character, and he even looks prettier.
I guess the
than Edward does in these movies.
I guess
seriously.
I guess the only problem is that he's already taken by Alice. Then again, given of his story.
Also, not a 5-star backstory, to be honest.
Honestly, Tio, he has more to his backstory than Edward does.
Oh no, it does, Jova. It's just the implications of that.
Oh yeah, the whole he was a Confederate.
I was a Confederate, you know.
Maybe
this is like a teen rom-com series, though, so it's like...
Okay, with any luck...
Well, rom-com is the wrong term, but you know what I mean.
Maybe there's some nuance in that he was one of the good guy Confederate soldiers here and there, but...
That's a very convoluted
I'll just leave you saying that phrase and moving on to something else.
Yeah.
Oh god, this movie. When it's not being boring or stupid, it's awkward as all... Speaking of being awkward, what the hell was up with that line?
Gotta love it. This was the moment for them to have the D-talk.
Okay. Again, though, Charlie does have the best lines, honestly.
I can tell you from personal experience, because a friend of mine went through this, because I have a friend of mine who's a single dad, and he actually did tell me that the most horrifying moment of his life when his daughter started maturing, if you know what I mean, and he had to, talk to her about certain things that he was not at all prepared for. So, trust me, single dads, they have it tough. They do.
I ended up getting the talk when I was 5.
Well, but I'm assuming. Well, here's the thing, Jova. Like.
Yeah, I know both parents were on board.
Well, okay. In that case, you're because usually.
Although I will admit, I kind of misinterpreted it as the man just peeing into the woman for a bit.
Moving on.
I mean,
yeah, let's
5.
Stop,
it's like.
I was 5 at the time. Okay.
It's so much preferable. When you have, at the very least, a female friend that can help you.
Yes, I know. It definitely helped that Dad had Mom to help out with that.
Okay, movie.
Oh my God,
movie.
can
you do something?
You see, Teo, it's kind of hard for us to move on as you're asking us if the movie itself won't move on.
Don't you get it, though?
But this just doesn't do anything to help me. Your movie, it is to be a two-way thing.
Don't you get it, though? Don't you get it, though, guys? Don't you get it, though, guys? Marriage is the most important thing ever!
What are you hitting exactly?
Something metal, probably a can.
2 metallic water bottles.
Sorry, just out of curiosity, because this movie isn't
doing
anything interesting.
Guys, they might finally be doing it. They might find. Nope, sorry, not doing it.
Oh, fuck. Can't even get that porn. Whatever.
Oh, God. This movie has blue balled us in every single way.
I'm so sorry, Tio. I was about to mention I also have alcohol at this time, so...
God damn it! The day where I should actually have it.
I would have alcohol, but I need to drive.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay, so here's how it's gonna go. By the end, me and Glibs will be the only sober members left.
No, Java, I had to be because I actually self-imposed challenge for this one.
Oh,
you poor boy.
Wow. So basically, wait.
If it's self-imposed, then you have the one to blame but yourself.
So basically, Tio,
I haven't denied that.
Basically, Tio, you're challenging to see if you can make it to the end of the worst Twilight movies sober. Oh, you poor sober boy.
You know what also helped Shiro, by the way,
wait, guys, they may be doing it.
No, they don't.
The music is not helping.
Oh my God! Is this happening? Is it finally?
Are we gonna see Edward actually shirtless without sparkling?
This movie's PG-13. You're not gonna see anything.
Whoa, Pedro.
Pretty sure these characters are supposed to be like high schoolers or something.
Pedro.
Oh no, they graduated college now. Actually, haven't they? Yeah. No, they've graduated. Yeah, they're adults.
They're adults actually, so they can.
Yeah. No, I just realized that.
Also,
Yes,
Pedro,
children?
just because the movie's PG-13 doesn't mean that they will put sex in a PG-13 movie.
They will
Plenty-
just find
I
ways
get
to
that.
masquerade it.
I
Yeah.
get that, Joe, but the next one after this has it. It's just that you're not going to see anything good, so why is this even here?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Just to suffer.
You'd be surprised. A lot of PG-13 films can actually film very good sex scenes. It just is a matter of having Austin Powers style of censorship.
Yeah. But yeah, sure, that's the thing. You know what other thing that helped was the fact
What?
that a lot of these teenage girls kept dragging their boyfriends to these movies. So
Oh no.
Take one for the team, buddy.
it was just sure. Remember, it's all for a greater good, if you know what I mean.
greater-
Okay. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that back when these movies were out, I did not get dragged to these movies by my girlfriend. She thankfully was not that hell-bent to drag me to them. The bad news, it was my sister that dragged me to see them. Granted, it was only when she bought them on DVD, not in
best way-
theaters.
The best way to please your girlfriend is to do everything she asks.
Well,
Basically,
that-
women love. Sorry.
and that's why
I should rephrase that. Like
Your partner.
women in an heterosexual relationship love when their partner just pleases them at all time with everything, with every request they have. Like, oh, can you come and see this crappy rom-com movie? As Shooter would put it.
Sorry. Is it the same in a homosexual
I was
relationship?
to say, like,
I'm assuming so.
well, I was about to say, as you know, me and Alice watch crappy movies for
Why
fun.
is this scene still going?
Because, Tio, the movie is punishing you for even so much as daring to think that they would do something interesting like bang.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this in one of the previous Twilight commentaries, but I saw the first movie with like a friend or two, and I don't think they really cared for they liked the books, I believe, but they didn't actually care that much for the movie.
Okay,
But yeah, go ahead, Woods.
Are they giving the audio description track for the scene or something?
Well, thank you very much, but no.
Oh, guys, he's proposing again. Will she finally
Using a ring
marry
from
him?
his mother.
Okay, he's guilt-tripping her with a ring from his mother. If this doesn't work, then she's just stringing him along.
Oh, that's
she
not
says
toxic
yes.
or anything. You are all terrible. Everyone in this love triangle is terrible. I hate
Pretty
all
nice.
of you.
The only good people, the only good person in this movie is Charlie, and the only awesome person in this movie is Michael Sheen. Yeah, I know his character
she
has
said
a name,
yes.
but I don't care.
But he's not in this movie, unfortunately.
He
Actually,
later
he
on.
is.
Monorail.
He is later on.
Monorail.
Oh, Bryce, why did you... Bryce, why? I mean, on the one hand, yes, you get to properly act with your natural hair color, but come on, Bryce. Was it...
You know,
that's the thing. So Bryce said no to the first movie because she thought that, the role wasn't big enough for her. While technically the role is bigger in the sense that Victoria is the main antagonist of this film, Victoria is in this movie so little. So damn little compared to this. Oh, and look at that. Just like with, Jackson Rathbone's character, Jasper, her second in command is nearly but her puppet who believes that she loves him. Again, I love how all these stories conveniently are matching up with what's going on in present day.
also, Jova, you see, you also have to think when it comes to the young adults, because there were some young adult women that were into this. No, it wasn't just the teenagers, to be fair. And obviously, Jova, if a boyfriend would allow his girlfriend to drag him into one of these things, he's probably thinking that he'll be able to get it later that night, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
so it's like I said, it's all for a greater good. Like,
wait,
put up with the pain now, you'll get the reward later.
Wait, guys. Okay, so guys, pay attention to this. So our villain is manipulating the guy who thinks that she loves him into doing all this dirty work here and there. Gee, doesn't that seem kind of familiar? A female
Queen Sly.
But don't you see, we're supposed to hate this one, but we're supposed to love Bella when she does it.
You see, you see, Job, it's like in that episode of South Park where theater musicals are actually subliminal propaganda to get women to have sex with men. So
wasn't it specifically blowjobs?
yeah, but I didn't want to actually, get graphical with the description, just in case.
Ow.
Musical theater is fun.
Don't you see? It's Bella's way of marking her territory.
No one said otherwise, sure. It was just a joke.
So she just laying her blood everywhere as distraction because it will attract the newborn.
We're only 2/3.
But don't you
Also, I forgot if I
remember Shiroi. Tran Matt wrote the multi-Tony award thing.
Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon. So they
Also,
like Broadway. It's
Which has been rescheduled, by the way, so I actually do get to see it.
Also, I don't know if. Also, I don't know if his hat has shown up in the previous movie, but even if I said so, I want to repeat that. That hat is horrible, New Bella. Pull that figure away, please.
Oh, don't you see, guys? Bella's doing all she can to
You're not
contribute to
Parappa the
cause.
Rapper, you're Bella Swan.
Oh God, Bella Swan is
Bella
Parappa the Rapper.
rap.
Leave it. Jacob, you need a...
I've come here to...
I'm still shirtless, by the way.
Well,
that one
I can tell you. I can tell you from his personal experience, Teo. As far as the target audience is concerned, the fact that he's shirtless is his main appeal, I assure you.
Okay.
Well, it also helps with the camera. It's the center, so the first people you see is not his head, but his abs. So.
Okay.
Look at it this way, Teo. It's the teenage equivalent... the teenage girl equivalent of a teenage boy going to see a horror movie because they know they're gonna show tits.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. To be fair, him going shirtless does kind of make some sense because the whole they wreck their clothes whenever they turn into a werewolf.
Damn. So actually, let me check. Where was this movie filmed?
Oh look! Now suddenly he's sparkling, even though there's been plenty of points in this franchise where he is under the sun, he doesn't sparkle. But whatever. Consistency is overrated.
The filter hides the sparkles, I think. I don't know, I'm trying to think of something.
No.
Hey guys!
I refuse that excuse.
Oh, hey guys! Pirates of the Caribbean did it, so totally will look cool doing that scene as well, right? No.
No, this isn't as cool.
No, nowhere near.
For as much as Howard Shaw's trying, it's...
The underwater march in Pirates of the Caribbean was one of the greatest parts of that scene, showing how cool it was.
No, Mr. Director, this is the kind of shot you see at the end of movies. Not
just that. There was like straight up Lord of the Rings helicopter shot.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to keep Bella away from Victoria because it's dangerous to be around. Okay.
Basically, this movie was pretty much filmed in Canada, Tio.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's my question. Why do they take her to the top of a mountain, specifically? Why not take her someplace else? Like, I don't know, a police station where obviously she can't do anything because vampires are not allowed to reveal themselves to humans?
I guess Victoria's...
If I recall correctly, again, the newborns are acting like the vampire UFO from Blade, the Blade trilogy. They're basically just not caring, so the Cullen family wants them to avoid harming civilians.
Yeah, I guess Victoria's sort of using the newborns as an excuse.
But that's okay, because this is one of my favorite scenes, actually. Okay.
Wait for it.
Oh god, this is the one.
Wait for it.
No. This is the one before it. Well,
Okay.
it's going to be a while before it happens, Jova.
No. I mean the line about Bella forgetting a certain something that would have been very important to have in the mountains.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I'll wait.
Come on.
Yeah, because I remember you showed me this whole sequence before.
Oh, this scene is...
And also a late...
Twilight...
and the girls that are part of Team Jacob rejoice.
Okay. Twilight Eclipse was shot in front of a live audience.
Okay, so guess what? So yeah, she apparently nobody remembered to bring a fucking blanket
or a
Even
coat.
Yeah, seriously, or an actual sturdy tent.
Okay, Edward, Jacob, tip for the future. When you do something, think about what you're about to do.
Why are you shirtless in the snowy mountain?
Because apparently, well, don't you see, Shiroi? Him being shirtless allows her to be in contact with his hot skin, which will help her survive.
Yeah. Oh, no. Actually, this is actually not that bad. See the thing. As has been established before, werewolf bodies are very, very warm. Very hot. So this is actually helpful, to be fair.
Although I would argue it would be more useful if he, used his transformation, because also extra fluff.
You know what this means, right, Shiroi? You know what this
Yes.
means, right, Shiroi? This means that in order to... apparently, Shiroi, they're afraid that Bella will freeze to death. Somehow. I don't think it will get to that point, but whatever. This means, Shiroi... Hold on.
Let me check.
This means, Shiroi, that Jacob has to spend the entire night on top of her. You know?
Oh my.
This is supposed to be set in, if I recall correctly,
How romantic.
in Washington State.
Yes.
So, Drova, question: Does Washington State ever get that cold?
Oh yeah, it can, especially high up in the mountains.
Fair enough, then.
Like, I think correct me if I'm wrong, Jova, but I think America is one extreme or the other.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing, Shiroi. We have a vast variety of different
Hold on, I have to point this out.
climates.
He just said it. I have to point out this line. Jacob literally just said, I know she loves me, she just won't admit it herself. Again,
Oh, that's creepy.
That's exactly what a rapist would say.
Do you have like a button sound effect? I need a creep alert.
Unfortunately, people are asleep in my house.
You know what I love? You know what I love is that Edward actually... You know what I love is that...
Make one if you want.
I appreciate the
Anyway,
sentiment.
you know what I
Go on,
love
Drova.
is that Edward actually kind of agrees with him in saying that, oh, you may be right. Oh.
Not just that, the fact that Jacob is essentially taking advantage of the situation.
Wait.
you know.
Wait. Is Jacob actually giving Edward relationship advice?
Apparently.
More like taking advantage to showcase, see, I'm actually good at planning things, unlike you. Again, he's just bragging about the situation, taking advantage of the situation he's in.
You know,
Pedro... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jova.
I'm going to say this. I think that Stephenie Meyer intentionally made Jacob more creepy because she realized by the end of the second book, oh crap, Jacob is the underdog, no pun intended. Like, he was the guy who actually cared about Bella, was kind and caring to her, and Bella just came off looking like terrible for leading him on. And when you get down to it, he really was the better choice for her than Edward. So, in order to make it more suspenseful as to which one Bella would end up with, she made Jacob more horrible, which I guess would then facilitate Bella going with Edward. Even though Breaking Dawn is all about Jacob moving on and actually being a better person and helping her marriage stay its course, which Edward, her actual husband, can't manage.
Anyway, going back a little bit, like the whole
Yes, Shiroi,
thing...
you had a question for me?
Yeah, the whole thing about, you saying that he basically has to practically lie on top of her, despite the fact that this is, an original story as far as we're concerned, this reads so much like the fan fiction, like even more so than 50 Shades, kind of. There's so much fan fiction tropes in this.
Even better, Shiroi, the Harmony Gold books. This is just one.
As somebody who's read a lot of fan fiction, both good and bad, this is just so tropey. It's great.
I know we've alluded to this before, but these scenes go on for fucking ever.
I know, right?
I know, right?
This is ridiculous. In the grand scheme of things, this movie is completely pointless. By the time this movie's over, we're right back where we started.
It's like the sixth Harry Potter movie.
This movie is literally nothing but pointless bickering.
Again,
we could have skipped this one.
Well, sure. To be fair, we deal with Victoria in this movie, so there is that.
So let's just watch that scene and move on.
Arguably, that's one of the better scenes in this movie.
How about this? We start the fourth movie with Victoria got killed, one thing led to another, blah blah blah, and now Breaking Dawn.
Okay. To be fair, I think Stephenie kind of knew that the people who weren't here for romance were here to see Victoria finally get her comeuppance. So
I'm sorry, Jeff, I have to put this out now. Okay, Shiroi. After that entire night where we had to lie on her to keep her warm, now she's fine. She's fine now.
Even though it's flipping snowing now.
It's like the whole Beyond Two Souls nonsense.
So what happened? What happened to the deadly cold thing? All of a sudden now it's better. She's not even wearing her hat or whatever it's all.
Yeah,
it is.
not just that. She doesn't even have a jacket. She just has a shirt on. Not just that. Not just that. It's like never mind the fact that when it's actually snowing, it's actually less colder.
All right, now everybody, this is the what is, in my opinion, the highlight, if you want to call it that, of the movie. The scene where Bella reveals herself to be a serious candidate for the most evil character in the history of fiction.
You know what? Fuck it.
So there you go. Sir Jacob now knows that the marriage is soon. So
actually, honestly, what did you think was going to happen, Bella? You had to tell him eventually.
Prepare yourself, everybody, because
this scene you showed me this too. Hang on.
I am so ready. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
About to reveal herself as the worst the most evil character
in
fiction.
No.
Let's hear her.
Bella, he literally said he's done.
Yeah, let's hear. Actually, I think you're the one not thinking clearly.
Stay.
Hold on.
He's not a dog. Oh wait.
Wait for it. I agree.
Ball.
Yeah, fuck this.
Screw you, bitch. You've been playing with me this whole time.
So, just want to see...
Hold on.
Let's...
Oh no. Edward's right there, you know.
Are you sure you don't want that alcohol?
And now the music swells.
The regret hasn't tasted so better in a long time.
Our protagonist, everyone! Our protagonist! Our heroine!
This is the moment where every sane person on the earth went, "Oh my god, really?"
No, wait, hang on, wait. I haven't
turn the orchestra off. It's
Hold
not
on.
worth it.
I have an important question. What was the cinema reaction, Pedro, please?
Okay, I mean, okay. Around most of the women were like, like I'm not even kidding. It's like they were having an orgasm. Like it's just.
What about the other half?
The boyfriends were all just looking miserable.
So what were they thinking? I'd rather be watching The Last Airbender.
No, I'll still take this over The Last Airbender.
God, that is how bad The Last Airbender is. And mind you, this movie is longer than Last Airbender, but Last Airbender still feels worse.
Anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This manipulative, evil, sociopathic... You know what? No. Teo, it's gone beyond sociopathic behavior. She's not even aware that other people have feelings.
Shame on you.
Never mind. I screwed up my sentence.
Shame on you. Shame on your entire lineage. I feel sorry for your father.
But check this out. Apparently Edward's cool with it.
Edward, what? Okay, yes, you were mentioning about fanfiction. This is like the average Netorare story, and it's just as awful.
You know, I'll just say this. Right as Jacob was about to take the high road.
My God, this is so crazy.
Oh, you love him. No, yeah, but I love you more. You fucking.
You know what this? What this reminds me? That comic that Vinkar reviewed at the beginning of his career, that was like that man was like, "I love you, darling, but I love Stalin more."
You fucking manipulative whore.
I will just say this.
Oh my God! There was a plot. I forgot about this.
Okay, I will just say this. Right. I'll say this, right as it seemed like Jacob was finally about to take the high road, right as he was finally about to put an end to his contribution to this mess of a romance, Bella pulls him back in. To quote Godfather...
For no reason!
No, that's the thing. She's manipulating his feelings, and that's what I wanted to say. Bella, as of right now, is a serious candidate for the most evil character in fiction history. Why? Here's the thing. Up until this point, you could argue she was a sociopath. She's not she's not even aware that other people have feelings. No. quite the opposite. She's aware that other people have things. Not only is she aware of them, she thrives on them. She loves consuming the feelings of these two morons who, for some reason, still have the hots for her, and she loves playing puppet master with their hearts.
Also, this battle is so lame.
But don't you see? No blood, because the vampires are porcelain. So if you blow their head off, it'll just be like cracking a
the
China
best thing
doll.
about it is Sokka's actor going One Punch Man.
I know,
Yes,
right?
Also with people. Wait! I know that actress, the little girl. She's the little girl from the Silent Hill movie.
Brilliant.
Yes. How nice.
Oh,
Let's get
but yeah, I was gonna say, like, her and Jacob are as toxic as each other. Like, they're made for each other. It's terrible. It's
I understand that, Chiri. I'm not saying Jacob is a good person by any means.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, they're both terrible.
I will say this, though.
They're both terrible, Shiroi, but I would argue Bella's more terrible. Why?
She is worse.
Because for as bad as Jacob is for being a rapist, and for as bad as Edward is for being quite misogynist in the way he doesn't allow Bella to, make her choices for herself and shit, in talking for her, like you even pointed that out earlier. But
she's playing them by not making a decision, like a proper decision.
No, Shiroi, I disagree. She has no intention of actually properly making a decision. Her intent is to keep these two around her and manipulate their attractiveness for her, and make sure they remain here so they can be useful to her. That's her angle. She's the puppet, and she's fucking manipulating their poor little hearts because they're genuinely trying to do their best to please her, and she's just internally laughing mad. Because, holy shit, these guys are such fucking morons.
Also, not leaving Bella with Jacob nearby actually had her scent being detected by the others. Who would have fucking thunk?
This is where you realize that this franchise would immediately jump rocket in quality if instead it was about Bella as a villain.
I know, right?
Make this franchise a character study of how evil and manipulative and completely Teo. She's not sociopathic because she's aware that people have feelings. That's why she manipulates them.
I don't know to tell you, Pedro, but I'm not immediately in the right condition to understand what you just said.
Okay.
Never mind. Okay, let's go with psychopath. I guess she's an incredibly manipulative, evil psychopath who just wants to manipulate everybody around her.
Oh my god,
to be useful.
Pedro, it's funny you mention that because that's literally what Bella is accusing Victoria of doing to Riley here.
Yeah.
Again, the whole, she's using you, she doesn't really love you.
I mean,
he lied to me. He shot at me. He's using me. Virginity.
Yeah, I wish Hans Zimmer and Pharrell Williams.
Oh,
got your nose.
Convenient werewolf.
But yeah, I'm serious. Imagine if instead of going with the romance angle, sorry.
Oh no, his arm! It's Crystal.
Instead of going with Bella being the quote-unquote protagonist we're supposed to feel sorry for angle, what if this was all along?
Wait. Is this
what are you doing?
He's basically baiting her with the "you'll never get a chance" thing. Come on, don't you want it?
One we want me, bitch.
His face.
Oh, trying to do that little carrot on
her
the
face.
One.
Oh my god, her face.
Victoria, it didn't really lose that much of a cat.
Boy, Bryce Dallas Howard. I can just imagine the directing for it. Okay, Bryce, I want you to look absolutely livid as possible as you can. But looking like you also need to go to the bathroom as well. Can you do that for me? Great, yeah.
Victoria didn't even lose that much of a cat. She was really a douchebag, so...
But she loved him, and apparently that is enough for this...
That's the thing, Jova. That's the primary problem with this movie. People only love douchebags.
Pedro, that's the problem with this whole franchise here.
Well, yeah, the franchise in general, but yeah. No, okay. Question, Shiroi. With everything that I just said, with my case study on Bella's character, for the fact that in my fear that she's the real villain of this
Manipulative.
franchise.
Oh wait.
She's, as far as I'm concerned, she's the real villain of
Oh,
this
wait,
franchise.
What are you doing, Bella?
Okay, Tia, remember that story about, you know, the woman who sacrificed herself to distract the vampire?
Oh, I forgot about
Well,
this.
so here's the thing. Instead of killing herself, Bella just thinks, okay, I'ma just cut my arm and boom, there you go. That was enough to distract the two.
Hey, you were saying, Pedro?
Okay, so I want to, before I say something though, I want to make sure there's a difference between an evil character and a bad character. A bad character is a character that doesn't work in the role in his role in the story.
I'm sorry, Pedro, but now that something actually interesting is happening.
That's okay, I can wait.
These high frame rate sequences are so terrible.
They are,
And
which is
boom.
that's the thing, Tim. That's what sucks because this director is capable of better than this.
If I didn't know better, I'd say Edward just...
So, is it over? Can we go home now?
Bryce, are you okay?
Her head is severed up, Joe. What do you think?
Well, Tio, who knows? Maybe she's one of those special vampires that can reattach their heads onto someone else's
No,
body.
this involves vampire, not the thing.
Maybe she's an immortal vampire.
I don't know, Tio. It didn't stop Dio.
As in a vampire, as in she was a Highlander before she was turned.
So there,
Hello, doggo.
so there you go, guys. Our main bad guys are
It's not-
dead.
It's not a doggo, Shiroi. It's a werewolf. They don't
Okay.
count as
Doggo.
doggos. They don't count
Yes.
as doggos.
Let's
Yes, it
light her up, boys.
What a nice vampire.
A doggo that can literally kill you with one bite. Yeah, that's a very nice doggo.
Hey, Dwibs.
But
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Dwibs.
the Volturi, what
Yes,
took
Jim.
your rest long enough?
Hey, Dwibs.
Look.
Hey, Dwibs. It's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Look, Dakota, were you buried in debt? Was that it, Dakota?
Probably she still feels ashamed for War of Awards and wants to make up for it.
Well, she ended up in something that's arguably worse than it.
Oh, again, the CG is gross. It's...
It is. But anyway, okay, allow me to...
Oh,
make
wait.
the-
Now this bit with Jacob.
Oh yeah, this is the part where she... Yeah, okay.
Wait, how did you do that?
I think it is. Oh, no, that isn't that... No, that wasn't the previous movie. No.
What has he done? Compress his thighs?
He broke some of his ribs.
Oh no.
That's what the cracking was.
Yeah.
I love
his-
how Carlisle also knows how to take care of werewolves.
I mean, isn't he like veterinarian, not
Wait,
specifically
wait,
just a
wait.
doctor?
Hold
No,
on.
he's a human doctor too. At least in
Wait.
the previous movies he's been.
Where'd you guys get those fresh pair of clothes afterwards? You were literally
Oh,
just
the
little
Hulk,
seconds ago. No,
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry, we all turned into the Hulk off screen, so...
That's the thing. You guys weren't even wearing the clothes when you were wolves. You literally burst out of them every time you turn into them.
You.
But yeah, Pedro, go ahead.
But yeah, I want to make the distinction clear that there's a difference between a bad character and evil character. A bad character is a character that doesn't work for his role in the movie. Whereas an evil character is like a really great villain that actually works.
We are the Fellowship of the Evil Vampires.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bella's evil in your eyes, yes?
Yes, no, more than that, Shira. As far as I'm concerned, she's the real villain of this franchise.
Honestly, the real debate is about if she's conscious about it or not.
Honestly,
Honestly,
Theo, I
Pedro-
think she is.
Yeah, I
I
agree on
honestly
that.
think she is. She literally just said, as Jacob was saying, "Fuck you, I'm leaving," and she literally goes, "Kiss me
Oh,
hard."
Oh wait, guys. Now it's time for a needlessly dark moment. You know that one innocent vampire who got turned? Yeah, the Volturi are pretty much, put that one down too.
She's gonna, if I recall correctly, she's gonna come back from Breaking Dawn Part 2 or not. I don't know.
I'm pretty
Don't
sure she's
care.
dead.
I don't remember things.
Okay, so with that said, Shiroi, off the top of your head right now,
Oh god.
can you think of a fictional character, anyone at all, who's more evil than Bella right now?
I mean, there's spoiler from Steven Universe.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. So aside from that one,
Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, hang on. Let me make it a little better. I'll make it a little better.
Let me just quickly answer Jova though. Jova, I'm not going to go into a rant about Kingdom Hearts, but I'll just say this: regardless of what you think of the execution, at the very least, Xehanort believed he was doing the right thing, even if he wasn't.
And I still will call bullcrap on Kingdom Hearts 3, but okay. Regardless, I will suggest that Xehanort was technically more evil. Now, am I saying that he was the worst character? No, but considering to the lengths he did and how his actions affected way more people, he was more evil. I'm gonna give him that.
Sure. I'm not particularly fond of that plot point either. Don't worry. That's not it. But at least Xehanort is not flat out playing with the...
Okay, Howard, stop ripping off your own Lord of the Rings composition.
And there you go, she's dead. But don't worry, we cut away from it, so it's all fine.
You know, I'd like to point out, Pedro, I'm inclined to agree with how, because, like, thinking about it for a little bit, I'm inclined to agree that Bella is actually pretty evil because, you know, all of this, or at least the majority of it, is because, you know, the war goes back quite a while longer than these movies. But a lot of what is happening now in present day is happening because of her. And she doesn't really seem to see the seriousness of any of this, and it's just baffling, honestly.
So, Don't worry, Jacob will survive. However, he's still gonna have to sleep it off.
There's no way she doesn't. There's no way she doesn't know her impact on all this. I really can't see any possibility that she wouldn't know.
See, guys, we're shaking hands.
Okay.
It's totally closer from what we've seen before.
Honestly, Shiroi, if you ask me, I think she's fully aware of the harm she's causing. She just doesn't care. Because all she wants is, like, it's always about her. I want to be a vampire. I want you to be here, Jacob. Don't come. Oh, don't go away. Oh, Edward, you have to marry me, otherwise I'll kill myself. It's always about what she wants, never about what anyone else wants.
They're all terrible people. Like, the main three are terrible. It's...
Again, like I said...
But who's the worst? I would argue Bella.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
honestly, considering the grand scheme of things, because the other two are also terrible, like Jacob's the worst, but at least, you know, what they're doing isn't, you know, going to drastically affect the universe at large. It's...
Like, okay, here's the thing. Jacob is terrible in this story, but... in a way, he kind of got manipulated into being that bad, seeing as how, again, may I remind you, for the second one, Bella pretty much led him on, only at the last minute to literally leave him out to pretty much sob about his troubles here and there. Oh, don't get me wrong, he's terrible here, too, but he was legit a better character before he literally got pretty much converted and turned into this awful mutation of his character, and it will only get worse in there. Again, like I said, arguably because Stephenie Meyer wanted to make it more suspenseful as to who Bella would get with, because honestly, up until this one, if you wanted an actual good relationship, Jacob would have been the better one. I hate that I have to get into the studies of this particular ship here and there, but that's just how it be. So, Stephenie Meyer and Bella, by extension, wrecked him, turned him into this horrible aberration. And like I said, when he actually does try to finally move on from her, she doesn't let him. She pulls him back in.
Yeah, not just that. Okay. And like I said, Jova, just to get this out of the way as well. No, trust me, Jova. I myself, I'm not particularly keen on that plot point either. I'm with you there. Don't worry. Regardless, though, Xehanort didn't go around fucking manipulating the love affections of two people just for his own personal amusement. I would argue that's far more evil than... Whereas Xehanort just wanted to destroy shit. And
Xehanort mentally screwed with people left and right, and for his own amusement. Not only that, killed literally manipulated his best friend to end up getting killed. And then there's the tomfoolery of Kingdom Hearts 3D. Like, I'm sorry.
There's also a lot of not Horcruxes, I guess we could call them.
I
God,
guess.
that's
Why is he Voldemort now?
Okay,
Pretty much. Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
that said, look. Don't get me wrong. Bella is still one of the worst villains ever, but she's not more evil than Xehanort. By proxy.
fine.
By
Okay, fine,
proxy.
Regardless, though, sure. Aside from that spoiler universe thing,
Yeah.
who else?
Oh, the only characters I can think of are spoilers.
Pretty much.
Okay.
No, because I'm trying to think of, because to make it, more fair, I'm trying, because that character in particular is on another level. I'm trying to think of characters.
Hey guys.
I'm trying to think of characters who are basically, like Bella, teenagers, young adults kind of thing.
Hold on. I gotta say this. Hey guys, we're back at the start of the movie again.
Gee, it's like this entire movie was a complete waste of our time or something.
It was just.
I will agree, though. Bella's pretty bad.
It was just there to resolve the subplot of the evil newborn vampire taking, revenge on Bella, and that's it. That's gone.
Teo, this is the equivalent of how God of War Ascension's only contribution to the major mythology and story at large was that whole thing about Hades.
I'm sorry, I actually had fun playing that game. The only enjoyment that I had was breaking my oath about alcohol, and now
I know.
the camera is spinning for no reason.
I'm not saying the game is not fun. I'm just saying that the story in particular was very relevant.
That's the advantage that a game should have, at least on a movie. The gameplay.
Well, I'm speaking as someone who was heavily invested, even back in the Olympus saga before I played the new one. So I was very disappointed in the story personally.
I don't know. I mean, I feel
reserving that for the actual game. For this one, it's
yeah.
A quick question about, because I've already forgotten the order of these bloody scenes. Which came first, the proposal or that one scene where she was like, Jacob, kiss me?
Jacob, kiss me.
The proposal happened first? Oh,
yeah.
It's even worse!
Yes, the proposal happened before that.
Sure, what have I been telling you for the last 10 minutes or so?
No, I just had to make sure it was just terrible.
Shirai, it's good.
You had to make sure it was terrible.
10 times the budget, folks. This is how much this sold.
Shirai,
wait, seriously?
Lionsgate should be so proud, or whatever company it was.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Thank you, Liz.
I was about to say Lionsgate are behind this because Lionsgate are the
Summit Entertainment, the lot that made this, are owned by Lionsgate.
Oh my god, because Lionsgate also owned the Alpha and Omega series, so maybe it's
crossover when Lionsgate. Come on, do it.
I guess it's just a thing.
We want it.
Oh god, you know what this means? You could have ended up having a John Wick Twilight crossover.
Oh.
Hey, if it's a Keanu Reeves killing these people, I'm fine.
Yes,
wow,
that
line can be so easily misinterpreted. I want to tie myself to you in every humanly way, possible.
Look, sweetie, no, you people are too despicable for me to imagine any actual non-safe for war material involved in you. That's how low we've got.
In that case, Teo, you're gonna hate Breaking Dawn.
I know, Jova, I know.
Jova, which Breaking Dawn?
Both.
Just end the movie. You're done.
Are you gonna bother?
Gonna need to reach the 2-hour mark, Pedro.
We need to know what they're about then.
Please, orchestra stop.
It tastes great.
Chug.
Jova, don't encourage him.
Actually, let me question. What is it?
Yes. Oh, thank merciful souls. The credits.
And we end on a very terrible music number. Okay.
Screw you, Stephenie Meyer.
Eclipse, final thoughts. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, that was Breaking
Bad, Vampire Edition.
Breaking Bad.
But don't you see? Sure. It's like Edward said. Your blood is like a drug.
No. The line was, "You're my own personal heroine." That was.
Alright, so yeah, this film was boring. It was melodramatic. Overly so, I might add. It was
dull, lifeless, listless. Nothing of any importance happened. And
You okay, Pedro?
What's processing shit? Just
Okay.
Worst of all, I can end up killing two of our commentators.
Pretty much.
Uh,
And it's only gonna get worse with Breaking Dawn.
And there's all the love triangle bullshit. And that's the biggest problem with the movie. Nothing happens.
Nope.
It's not even entertaining. Nothing happens.
Keep in mind, this is an event that a lot of people, even non-fans of Twilight, were waiting for. The big battle with Victoria. And
it
that
was very shit.
I know, that feels like a cliff note in this whole godforsaken script.
It lasted like a couple of minutes.
I mean, why did you
Strange fighter.
Why did you even
Sorry,
get
go
Bryce
ahead.
Dallas Howard here in the first place? You already had an actress.
Because they really wanted Bryce Dallas Howard in the first place, so of course they sold out their original actress just to get Bryce Dallas Howard. That is how shallow this franchise is.
And what did they accomplish?
Hey, Dwebs, what did you think of the incredible revelation of one of the most evil characters in the history of fiction?
And I guess we're not talking about Victoria.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Edward is, well, I don't know, they're all just as bad as each other, so...
I thought you were about to say Edward is British.
Well, Pattinson is British, so...
What does that have to do with anything?
You know, British
Nothing,
people tend to
it's
be
just
portrayed as
interesting
evil.
fact.
Honestly, in that regard, all three of them are just as bad as each other, so for all I care, they can get into a bloody threesome.
A hybrid freeway baby.
Polyamory, you know, that's a
Children,
thing.
No.
Sure, why
Honestly,
not?
Shiro, there is nothing Stephenie Meyer would not put in her book, so at this point, why not?
Yes, a
Actually,
vampire werewolf.
Gotta be honest, choosing to become fuck buddies will solve many problems of this story.
Sky's the limit, we don't give a shit.
I know, right?
But yeah, overall, it's just a boring slog like the other movies.
Okay.
Next!
Shiroi, go next.
Sure, I don't have much to say anyway. Yeah, this really was the Half-Blood Prince of the Twilight series. Everything we
Wow.
needed to know was over in just a handful of minutes. I hate our main leads so much. They're all terrible people.
I'll still take Half-Blood Prince over this, personally.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least with Half-Blood Prince, I could say that some of the characters are normally likable.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
at least there was
despite,
some
you know,
funny moments.
You know, despite, you know, my feelings towards that series being soured at the time of this recording, like, I would still gladly take that over this. This is just terrible.
Is it because of J.K. Rowling herself, or
Yeah,
because of
it was Rowling herself. I didn't want to bring it up because I thought everyone would
Okay.
know what I meant. But yeah, I was
Yes.
Rowling. But yeah, I would still, you know, watch her stuff over this because
Sure.
it's terrible.
Personally, I cannot agree with that. I believe in separating the art from the artist.
I think, well, Pedro, here's the problem.
That's a different conversation for a different time, I think.
Yeah, gotta say that
yeah.
for Halloween.
Pretty much. Basically,
yeah.
long
Yeah,
story...
that's a different conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, yeah, this movie was terrible. I hate the filters. Like, I hate the filters for all of these movies, but they're just somehow worse here. Like, they're too dark, they're too grey, and it's
They're
not
too
even in,
blue.
like... Yeah, what's the use, right? I mean... At least in Deathly Hallows, it makes sense. You know, it's to show how things are at this point, and here it's just like mood lighting, and it isn't even very good. It's if I didn't like our main cast before, I definitely don't like them now. The father is still one of the best characters in this, and yeah, this movie is entirely skippable, honestly. I don't think I have much to say, so just look forward to breaking my patience.
In 2 parts.
But yeah, who's next?
I'll go next. But first of all, this movie actually was nominated and won a fuck ton of awards, so I'm not gonna list all of them. Let's just say that it's way more than this thing
It's most likely MTV
deserves.
It's most like MTV Awards.
Let me see,
the
man.
Academy Awards,
National Movie Awards, Teen Choice, Scream Awards, Nickelodeon, Australian Kids. What the fuck is this?
Well, Teen's Choice Awards are exactly what they describe. Teen's Choice. You can't rely on teenagers.
It was nominated for a Grammy for his best compilation soundtrack album or motion picture.
Oh
I mean,
God.
I will say this. Yes, this score was probably the best part of this movie. The good news is that it actually was nominated for a lot of Razzies and actually won one.
Thank you.
Thanks to Worst Supporting Actor Jason Rathbone.
Wait. I think you mean Jackson Rathbone.
Yes, I guess. Okay. But yeah, they won that. But still, like a fuck ton of fluff awards. Anyway, movie shit. It's pointless. It could have been summed up in 20 minutes. Reserve the backstories. And the fact that the vampire mistress dies at the end. It would save all the stupid, pointless filler stuff. Save some of the worst moments for this leading trio. Generally save the audience for a bad product. It's pretty clear that when the book was made, it was just to sell more money, sell more copies, because it was a lucrative series. But when the final product was made, both book and movie, they didn't even realize, how insensitive they were with these fucking people. Like I said, this is so disgusting that even if I wanted, I don't want to. Even if I may have an interest, I wouldn't actually wanted to search, non-safe war material tied to these people. I know that happens at the beginning of the next movie, but in general, these are such unlikable characters. The best stuff comes from the side material, which you want to know more of, vampires and werewolves in history and their rivalry together. But like I said, it might lead to a monkey's paw with what happened to Underworld, for example. So what do I know? Then it gets very uncomfortable with stuff like the backstory of the vampire played by Sokka's actor, which was a Confederate and killed a child by breaking his neck.
Don't you see, he was manipulated by Marias.
Yes, manipulate this. But no, this was just awful. Most definitely a waste of time, but it was fun to break the what they said about the alcohol. But at least it was more fun afterward, I would say. So at least it's there. But whatever. Next.
I will go next. What a waste of a movie. I'll say this. The most amazing thing about this movie is that the fact that for as bad as this movie was, it still wasn't as bad as Last Airbender. That's, I guess, the best thing I can say about this movie. Is it shows how bad Last Airbender was that movie, despite being shorter, No, the pacing is... Yeah, maybe having better pacing. Again, despite all things against it, Last Airbender is still the worst movie between the two.
It's because for as horrible as this movie is, there are lines in this dialogue, in this script, that are not cold, raw exposition. The characters actually talk instead of just spouting plot points.
It's kind of ironic because this, well, like I said, this might as well be considered the textbook encyclopedia guide for the franchise with how much backstory and lore we get in this movie. But don't you see, conveniently, it all lines up with what's happening in present times. Right down to Bella deciding, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm just going to cut my arm. Which kind of makes you wonder why the old native woman from the story didn't just cut her arm.
Yeah, that's another stupid monarchy for the backstory, which, like I said, it might be also insensitive for Native Americans.
Don't you see, Bella, the white woman, was so much smarter than the dumb Native American. God, this movie reeks with awkwardness.
But Joe, don't you see? You love this movie. You just don't know it yet.
Oh God! Okay, yeah. Let's start with that. Jacob, for whatever character he had, his character was butchered for this movie and made to basically be, well, he was made to be brought down to the level of Edward and Bella, to make him just as bad as them, so that then the audience won't feel so bad when Bella breaks his heart and goes with Edward here. I mean, he is terrible in this movie. And yet, right as he is about to pull out, Bella pulls him back in. At that point, Bella has herself to blame.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you know what's sad? He technically does get over it in Breaking Dawn, but oh God, then something even worse happens in that. Not even going to go into detail, because if we go into detail about that now, we'll be here all night. I'll just say this: Jacob cannot catch a break. Taylor Lautner cannot catch a break. That said, part of me does kind of hope he does come back to play Shark Boy. Like, I get it. Shark Boy and Lava Girl was technically a worse received movie than the Twilight franchise. But I'll be quite honest, I have more fun with that film than I do this franchise. Like, this movie in particular is dreadful. It drags its scenes so much. It teases us with more interesting plots, only to pretty much play keep away and go, nope, sorry, you ain't getting more details about that, even though you probably do want them. Hell, for the titular fight scene that we're supposed to get, it lasts so little. So dang little time. And that said, I'd like to point out the big irony, how everyone's pointing out how, oh, Victoria's manipulating Riley. Regarding this, of the fact that Bella is manipulating Jacob and Edward. Also, Bella gets mad at Edward for telling Jacob that they're married. It's like, Bella, were you planning to lead Jacob on for however long? Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. The actors. For the most part, they seem to be trying, except for Kristen Stewart, who just seems to be on autopilot in these movies. Yeah, like Shuri said, the set design is blech to look at.
It was also the filter rather than the set design. I don't really care about the set design.
Charlie was definitely the MVP of this movie here, especially with Michael Sheen being completely absent in this movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird. I remember him. Wasn't it like an after credits scene or something? I don't even remember.
No, whatever. I did not see any after credits scene with him in it.
No, where and
it's weird. Maybe I'm mistaking it for something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, Michael Sheen's not even in this movie, so yeah, deprive us of more fun while you're in it. Why don't you? The Volturi in this scene are literally just there to stand around saying, "We're not going to do anything because."
with potatoes.
Yeah, so moving on here. The movie gets needlessly dark as well, with the Volturi going, oh, gotta kill that other vampire girl, to the point where they literally have to cut to black because the movie itself knows.
It's weird, she's still credited for Breaking Down Part 2. I forgot if they show her for a flashback or she comes back or not.
I'm guessing flashback unless they come bring her back, but in that case then, that just makes the whole supposedly killing her thing even more pointless in this
I actually
movie.
forgot about that.
Lord knows this movie can get very pointless. Yeah, I think I pretty much have summed up the problems with this movie. That said, you could argue Breaking Dawn is actually worse. Like, let me put it like this. For perspective, while people did hate Eclipse, people could still have fun laughing at how bad it was. By Breaking Dawn, there are some severe no-nos that pretty much had people who were having fun making fun of this franchise actually get legit pissed off at it.
Yeah, they can. But honestly, Joe, I would argue that applies to all of these movies. So,
well, what I mean is like, well, Breaking Dawn was where pretty much people hit their breaking point, like even fans of the franchise.
I not entirely sure of that. Not from what I've seen.
Oh, I saw a lot of the reactions from it across there.
We'll
But,
see,
we'll
see,
talk
brother.
more about it when we get to that movie. For now, Pedro, why don't you give us the
Yeah.
closing thoughts?
Yeah, for the record, everybody, Breaking Dawn is where Twilight decides to tackle the issue of abortion. Because, you know, I totally trust Stephenie Meyer to handle that issue.
Yeah, as we see for these products, she totally knows how to do something.
But anyway, okay. There's nothing I cannot say that it has not already been said. It's just redundant, and this horse has been beaten so much by this point. But I will actually do finish my case study that I was making earlier. Like, I can even think of even most villains in movies usually think they're doing the right thing. Like Thanos thinks he's doing the right thing. The Emperor of Star Wars, like I want order in the galaxy. I'm embracing the powers of evil to do this, but damn it, the galaxy needs order.
2019 Joker, arguably. Again, it's
Oh,
like we
yeah.
said, every villain is the hero of their own story.
Exactly, but this bitch, no, you can't even say that for Bella. Bella is not. Bella is literally just doing. Bella's literally just. Let's see how long I can string these two dudes on. Like, it's just. What the fuck?
Like, if she actually thinks she's the good guy in this story, she needs professional help.
She's the villain. At this point, that there is no question. She's
not
the
good.
villain.
She's not good, you know?
She is the villain of this franchise. This franchise would have been so much better if it was a case study of Bella's descent into complete evilness.
It's funny because there have been fan fictions that actually did it, and those fan fictions are actually pretty well written for the most part.
Which is interesting because the director of this movie made Hard Candy, and that's basically what that movie is. It's Alan Page's ever-growing descent into psychopathic evilness. Like,
Although I guess you could argue that in Hard Candy she thought she was doing the right thing, seeing as how the guy she was torturing was... well, I guess I shouldn't say because spoilers, but you get the point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Even then, like you yourself said, yeah, like you can make an argument that she at the very least had a decent perspective in terms of why she's doing this. No, Bella's just doing this just because she probably thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see how long I can string these two dudes on before they catch up. And when Jacob started catching up to her evil plan, but then Bella, once again, the master of manipulation, appeals to the power of Boner and asks him to kiss her. Like, it is just, holy shit, you manipulative, evil bitch. Holy shit. This woman would make a fantastic villain. The problem is she's not written as a villain. She's supposedly being written as the protagonist.
And that will come to a head in Breaking Dawn.
Holy shit.
What happened? What happened?
Aside from that, the usual shit applied. This movie's garbage. Stephenie Meyer doesn't know how to write. But hey, look at it this way. Stephenie Meyer's success is proof that anybody can make it in the book writing business. I mean, if this completely out of touch middle-aged woman can write personal fan fiction and gain a shit ton of billions of dollars off of it, that means that you too can do it. All you have to do is write something that appeals to a specific demographic and just pander to it. Pander it like mad. And there you go. It's an incredibly legal and perfectly public get-rich scheme. So,
and the ads should have learned from this one.
The only way Stephenie Meyer can be redeemed is if she retires and then comes out and reveals, I knew all along that my books were terrible. I was just doing this because I knew it would get me rich. So who's laughing now, bitches?
Social experimentation.
Like, seriously, if this was all performance art, like she secretly knows.
When asked about this, she only said that this was all part of a plan.
Yes. She was all like, hey, I got rich from this. So who cares?
And now she might try to get rich again if she really is going to literally redo these movies, but from Edward's perspective.
Edwards.
I guess she's she spent so much of her money to the point where she's in debt now, most likely. Anyway, that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say.
Alright, folks, so don't worry, you don't have to wait long for this one. Tune in on Halloween time when we finish this beast once and for all with the duology of Breaking Dawn.
We're gonna do both movies back to back?
Yes, we are.
Well, that's like 4 hours.
Pager.
See ya.
Yeah.